Neverness to awareness. The short form is the NTE, and don't mistake the NTE name with the NTR, and you already know that what I'm trying to say here. Anyway, the main thing is that Neverness to awareness is considered as one of those like a hyper gacha game in a gacha space for a long time, just because it is like one of those like an anime GTA game where it is totally based on the urban modern city life, where you can even drive the car and also do what you can do in a GTA but with the anime style. But the game is going to be released in 29/4/2026, and it is actually very much interesting to see that the game which was trying to release in a 30/4/2026, but they totally rescheduled it one day earlier because they don't want to collide with the Udaringa second anniversary, which was also happening in the same day, which is 30/4/2026. And by the time this video is released, I guess the game server is already open and you might be already playing this game and as well as pulling up for your favorite characters. Now, as you already know that Neverness to Awareness is a former developer. Now, you already know that Neverness to Awareness developers are the former game developer of the Tower of Fantasy, which does not even have a good story. If I just give you an example, they do have a plagiarism problem, and the same plagiarism problem it is not even lived by the Tower of Fantasy. It is also continuation of in a Neverness to Awareness, because they do have some kind of like a go through some kind of code and other things, just because of they just copied from a intro and outro buff from the Udaringas. It was a very much of a controversial things in a beta testing. If you haven't even know this topic, you can even check it out by just searching it on the name under the game name with a like a plagiarism things. Anyway, the main thing is that they already fixed so many things, and also there are some kind of like a bugging, and also the character feels so much janky, not even that fluid enough, which the other games provided to, especially the big games Zenless Zero, HSR, and also Genshin Impact Udaringas as well as. But this game does not even feel very much of a good in a beta testing, but they just fixed so many things in the recent beta testing, so we are hoping that to see that what kind of test they already have done in here. And also the plagiarism that, and also the history that I already mentioned for the Tower of Fantasy, the security problem was very bad because the game was a MMO, and MMO was kind of like a hit or miss for each and every player. If you really dig into this kind of topic or dig into this kind of genre, you will like it, the MMO, but most of the people are not even have a enjoy this kind of system, and it is not even a cup of tea for everyone. Anyway, the main thing is about this video is going to be the launch tier list for the Neverness to Awareness, which is provided by the Python.gg. Is one of those like a top website when it comes to covering this kind of popular game tier list. For the launch tier list, it could be like a daily to daily update tier list for the end game and also other things. And they are not even doing only for Neverness to Awareness, they are only known for their other popular games, especially Udaringas, Zenless Zero, and rest of them are the also 13 games, which is also a popular one. Now, in this launch tier list, it is totally based on the beta testing which has been happening since like a past few months, so don't take it as a seriously, take it as a grain of salt. And Paddy.gg is one of those sites when it comes to their opinion, it totally spark a kind of like a controversy between the communities, so don't even take it as a seriously, take it as a fun way. And besides than that, the tier list is going to be really helpful, and it is also tend to be changed after like a 4 or 5 or 1 week later, because the amount of players are already invited in the beta testing is very much of a minimal, so their opinion is not even a valid when the number of players are going to be testing this character which they thought it would be as tier 0 character. That's the main thing. So let's see which character should be the best one into this current meta, and which character you should be pulling for and also investing for. And aside from that, this game does not even have a 50-50 system, so you don't even have to worry about getting these other things about the like losing 50-50 and also getting another guaranteed PT. So this is totally not going to be the happen for this game. Anyway, let's move on to it. For the tier list, I'm not going to click any of those character logs and criteria change log, because in here the things that we are trying to get to see, which is the which character is going to be the tier 0, is already been happening here, so the whole video point is not going to be the proof in here. Another point is that if you don't know which character you should be investing on your early game basis, especially in the launch times, I guess it is actually hard for you to cope up with the end game content and also the game which is throws at you in a upcoming end game content. So you have to be very much of a resourceful when it comes to doing a proper research, and also know which character you should be investing on your first early game and which character can be a future proof as well as. So let's move on to our tier 0 list. Okay, damn. For the tier 0 list, we have a cheese, which is also a damage dealer, and also the thing about their element, which is a cosmos. Anima is a totally a fire element, but the color of this element is totally a green one. It is totally same as was the Udaringas, because Udaringas element you can even grasp it the way the element is shows in Udaringas, especially for the Agosta. You can see our element is a kind of like a glowing of a yellow, but it is totally imply of a not a pyro, it is actually imply of a electro character. So you have to totally be skeptical when it comes to this game, as well as the thing about the Cosmos. I guess I totally no idea what kind of element it is. I totally forgot that. If I just give you an example of a closest example, which is existing in Genshin Impact. The other thing of the Psyche, it is also a closest of the Hydro. If you already have playing the Genshin Impact and also other games, the incantation, I guess most of the people are seeing it as a kind of like a closest to element, which is going to be the Dendro one. That's not the main thing. The main thing is that if you really want to pull for this character, which is a cheese, this character is not going to be the first banner. The first and foremost limited character banner is going to be the Nanali, and if you just somehow happen to get her, she's going to be the very much of a good one. And other than that, I already seen her team building test in this one. I already heard so many of the people that if you just somehow have her, she is going to be the provided and most of the high and also low cost of team building options, because the amount of 5-star and also amount of 4-star character she required is very low compared to the other characters in here. And the characters in here, as you can see, that these two are only the limited one and the other 5-star character is already a standard one. So I don't think so you have to really invest it, and also you have to really kind of think about that which standard character you should be pulling for in here. So the thing about is here, which is going to be the pulling for the Nanny, which is the limited character for our first banner, and the second limited character, which is going to be the Cheese. You cannot even have her on the first day of this game release. And other than that, they are totally mentioned here, which is the A3+ in here means that it is going to be the Constellation 3+. So if you don't even have a higher amount of Constellation on your case, I guess she is not going to be the very much of a fruitful one. And the 0, which is going to be our MC, and this MC is going to be have a 2 gender version, just like any other rest of the gacha games, which is a male and female. If you just somehow happen to have her or him, you don't even have to worry about it anything at all. So other character is a very much of a lower than that. Let's see. So in here you are going to see that which character is going to be the very much of a good fellow, especially for the reroll case. And the first and foremost thing is that rerolling in this game is not going to be the good one, because the game's character is going to be the guaranteed. So if you do have a good amount of pulls, and also obviously the game is going to give you a higher amount of pulls when the games are going to be launched. Every other gacha game also provided a higher amount of rewards when they launch a games, so you don't even have to worry if you just really want to have those characters for early case, and also other remaining pulls and other pulls that you are going to get through completing the story, and also other end game mode. If you have this kind of scenario, then you can even just do rerolls. But if you don't even have this kind of mindset, you can just totally go through a full throttle of a PT and get any of those character from the limited banners. So the first character, which is a Daffodil, she is also a standard character, and as you can see, they're only available for the chaos at launch, breaks bosses for more quickly. The only element she's only provided in here, so she's totally a seasonal character. I don't think so she's going to be provided any value for a future case, so I guess it is not going to be the very much of a good for you to pull for her. Another thing, which is the Sakiri means that she has a good enemy crowd control with a suction and suspension. It can devour lower levels of enemies, buffs dot damage, buffs attacks, lower enemies defense. Okay, damn man, the way she just totally give you a CC and also dot damage. Or dot damage is not something like you similar to a HSR. HSR is totally a different archetype, but dot, a full form, is a damage over time. So she does provide a dot to her enemies and also buff the attacks of her enemies, lower the enemy defense. Damn man, she is actually going to be the top tier support that you should even have her on your first day at account. That's the main thing. Second is going to be the Baikang. For a Baikang case, this guy is also a DPS character, and if you just somehow able to have him, he is also good, because the thing that they are providing in here is that he can also have a personal sustainable kit. So play him properly. You don't even have a healer on your account. All you have to do is just play him properly and also do the damage frequently as well. As for the next character, which is a Jingwan, the real value is actually very much lower, because the thing that she provides is actually not even that of a good one. And also, as I already mentioned before, don't even take this kind of things seriously, because in the launch of a HSR and also other gacha game, launch tier list does not even hold any kind of value. The people are really trying to think that which character is going to be the best one for the standard case. So in my case, as far as I already read their kit and also read their value, what kind of value just having them on your account is going to be the Sakiri. Sakiri is going to be the best option that you could even pick from the standard one. And also I already heard that from the fixing bug games and also other things, they are already going to provide us a standard selector, and also getting her from the standard selector is going to be the best choice that you could even have her, which I'm also going to make a tier list about it on my separate video. Other than that, which is a Hathur and also Fadia, as you can see that the amount of pros and also amount of cons is also actually a good one. And also the thing is that she deals a great AoE damage and also decent damage against bosses, flight overworld via aerial basis. So if you really want to have a QQL update on your account, if you don't want to just only drive your motorbike and also drive your car and also other things, I guess you can even just use her with the traversal mechanics, where the only limited mechanics that you can even have her just having her on your account. That's the thing. For the Fadia, she's also a bad character, don't even pick for her. Other than that, where is our Nanali, where is it? Of course, if you're really confused about which kind of standard character you should even get, that I already mentioned, Sakir is going to be the best options. Zero you're already getting for free, because this guy is the MC one and you are going to be investing your most of the time just playing those two MC characters. And another part is the Nanali. Yes, why am I saying this? Because there is kind of like a team tier list, as you can see that the team tier list, which is a tier 0.5 and also tier 1, these teams does not even hold any kind of value. The most closest things that you should even have her, which is the Nanali Hyper, and this in here you have to have like a multiple 4-5 star things, and also the only 5-star thing that you can even have her, which is the Jing one. You have to win another 5-star on the standard pools that they are going to provide it on you. And the other thing is that just you can even also play this game, which is a totally F2B friendly game. In here only one 5-star is going to be the required, which is an only limited character. Other things you can even just get it from free just playing this game. And other point is that for the release case and the launch tier case, Baikang is also fire hyper carry. These guys also going to be the best options for your team building session, but these teams is totally consist of all of the standard character and standard character are not even a future proof one. They are tend to be power give very much sooner than the Nanali, which is a limited character for the launch tier list. And other character which is a Daffodil, and as you can see that her being on to this kind of tier 0 or into this higher ranking list, just because of she's the only chaos character in this game currently right now. Other character doesn't even hold any kind of candle, so she's just a seasonal character. You can even have her if the enemies have a chaos weakness. I guess she's the only option that you have her. Other than that, she does not even hold any kind of candle, so don't even invest on her into this early end game mode. Anyway, the thing is that I already mentioned before, which is the Nanali. If you just somehow have her on your team, she's going to be the very much very good. And also the having her is also going to be guaranteed another traversal mechanics, where she's the only character who can even just totally climbing onto the wall and also run onto the wall. Other character does not even have this kind of mechanics, so just having her going to give you a QQL update in exploration. Other than that, the tier list is actually very small. As I already mentioned before, don't take it seriously, take it as a grain of salt, and also take it as a fun way. And the tier list changes, some character is going to be up because the more players are going to be tested in the official release. They do have their opinion, they do have their own share of things, that how the other characters are going to be performing in this kind of tier list. So that's all for this video. If you like it, leave a like, and also if you have any other question regarding this kind of like a tier list and also my opinion, feel free to leave under the comment section, and see you on the next video. Peace.